Hello and welcome back once again. We just recorded our Together review, but we haven't had enough movie love for the night. So we're switching gears to The Naked Gun. I am once again not alone here. I'll bring up my esteemed co-host here, the Wolfman himself. You're not in the horror zone, but you're in the comedy zone. How are you feeling going into this review, Wolf?
I'm feeling very excited and happy and ready to laugh because holy shit, this movie is hilarious. So, yeah, I'm ready to get into this with you guys. So,
And it's not just us. We have our third little man here down in the center here. Ari back on the channel, ready to talk about The Naked Gun. How are you feeling about this movie? How are you feeling going into this review?
I I really love this movie. I'm ready to call it. I'd be ready to call it one of the funniest movies of the century, if not possibly the funniest.
Yeah, I had an absolute blast with this one. It was really, really funny. I can't wait to talk about the movie in detail with you guys. I'm not going to spoil anything in this review. We're going to keep it as spoiler free as we can. We'll talk a little bit about stuff in the trailers, but I'm really going to try to avoid giving away like any punchlines or any of that kind of stuff. So if you want to go in spoiler free, you're safe here for The Naked Gun. You're also safe if you want to watch our Together review on the channel. We just reviewed Together, spoiler free for that as well. Check that out on the channel. We're going to be doing a lot more reviews in the coming weeks. So check out the channel, hit the like and subscribe if you really want to. We're going to get into this review here. I'll start out with, I think, the thing we all want to talk about here, and it's Liam Neeson, front and center, the man himself. I think this is perfect casting because this, Neeson has been doing these types of movies for a really long time. The guy stuck on a train, the guy stuck on a plane, the cop solving this problem, that problem, the ice road, and all these things. And this movie feels like it's very, very aware of Neeson and how like serious he's taken. So the fact that he's playing all these comedic beats so straight and so serious, I think makes this movie. He is the reason this movie is as great as it is. Like everybody else is fun, but Liam Neeson at the center is what's making you laugh. He killed me with like almost every line he had. He really is, for me, the best part of this movie, and perfect casting. He's been working around this movie since 2015, and it finally happened now. So I'm really glad this came to fruition and that he got to be in it. So I'll start with you, Ari. What did you think about Liam Neeson here in the front, in the lead here?
Yeah, I just had a question real quick. So did you say right there that Liam Neeson's been attached to it since 2015?
Yeah, he's been in talks for this since 2015 with Seth MacFarlane first attached, and that kind of fell apart. But Liam Neeson really wanted to make it happen, so he kind of like stuck around and kept pushing for it, and then eventually it ended up happening 10 years later.
Wow. Yeah, I thought he was really great. I mean, Liam Neeson's been my favorite actor probably since I saw the Phantom Menace. I grew up watching those prequels. I don't like them now, but I've always thought that he did what he could with that role. The reason he's so good in this is because he's dead serious. When he is, holding a human arm and hitting people with it, he's dead serious, and he's, and I am not the biggest fan of the original, but even if I liked it, I think I'd still feel this way. Leslie Nielsen, he's good in those movies, but there is a bit of a jokiness there. Like, he's not 100% dead serious, whereas Liam Neeson is literally, like, completely dead serious, and I think that's what makes it so fun. I agree with you. I think he's been needing this for a long time. He's had these edges into comedy, like the Lego movies, Cameo, and Ted 2 or whatever. It feels like I think he's been wanting this to happen, a comedy like this. And he works so well as the just dead serious. I'm really curious where he goes from here.
Yeah, I really hope this revitalizes him as the comedic lead because, like I said, he's been doing a lot of those action dad direct to video kind of movies, and they're serviceable. He gets the paychecks, and they're not usually like terrible movies. They're just kind of fine. And I would love to see him kind of come back into a bigger role in something that is in big movies that we see, and maybe a sequel to this. But I would love to see him do all kinds of other stuff that is more on the mainstream than what he's been doing. Michael, how did you feel with Liam Neeson at the lead?
I thought he absolutely stole the show. He is Frank Drebin Jr. He may be even better than Leslie Nielsen in the role. Like, he's really exceptional. I loved how dead serious he was on everything. I'm watching it and I am like howling like a hyena of laughter in the theater, and part of me is just laughing, but my jaw's also kind of on the floor because I'm sitting there being like, how are you so straight faced right now? Like, how are you keeping such a straight face? I'm just dying here. Like, how could you not be laughing right now? And I get it. He's like, that probably took multiple takes and he mastered it and all that, but it's just, that's the thing with certain comedies that really hit, is you always wonder, like, how is this person keeping a straight face right now while I'm just dying laughing? And Liam Neeson pulls it off really well. He just, God, he was so funny in this, and the whole cast is great. But yeah, he is truly the star of the show, and I'm glad he was able to show off because he had great comedic bits in those movies, but also like on SNL, I think he showed up a couple of times. Did some funny skits there, and he's done some really funny stuff in the past. And this is the first real comedy we've seen him lead before. He was the best part of A Million Ways to Die in the West for me. I wasn't a huge fan of that movie, but I thought he was the best part for sure. Like, anytime he was on screen, I died laughing. So I think that he's just a comedic genius, personally.
I don't know that he did need several takes. I think he's a really great actor. He seems like someone who's just that dedicated and that skilled that he would like, nope, got it, first take.
And he plays it so dry that you almost like, it takes you a second to realize that what he said was a joke because he says it so seriously, and then you have to wait. Like, what did he just say? Like it takes you a second to be like, I can't believe he just said that about toilets, you know? And I was blown away. But yeah, I already said that he was. I think you guys both mentioned he was probably your favorite part. But I want to start with you, Ari. Was there any other characters or casting in this movie that you were impressed by outside of Liam Neeson?
The one I wasn't impressed by was who plays the antagonist. I don't want to say what actor it is just in case. I think the trailers gave that much away. I wasn't particularly in love with that performance, but it's really him and Pamela Anderson. I mean, it's really both their movie, and I thought she was really great. I mean, this is a good year for her with The Last Showgirl, and now this 2, 4.5 out of 5 movies. Both great movies, and I think she has really good chemistry with him. I think that's what makes it work, is they bounce off each other very well. I mean, I don't know if she's as funny as him, but she's pretty damn good. She has one sequence in particular. I won't say what happens, but if you've seen the movie, you know where I'm just like, oh my God, this is just like, how is this a real movie that came out in 2025? It slipped through the cracks. Like, comedies are dead theatrically, but this one slips through. And I really, really liked her. Paul Walter Hauser was fun. He doesn't have a ton to do, but
there's a really funny scene involving him.
There's something towards the end that is just like, I was howling. Like, I could not like, I had an autism laugh attack. Like, I couldn't, seriously, I could see myself watching this like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, we've seen studio comedies here and there, but nothing that hits like this. Like, I'll chuckle at jokes, but this, I was belly laughing, and I felt like I was laughing at nearly every joke. Like, it's not 100%. Sometimes there's lines that don't really hit. Sometimes there's gags that don't really hit, but I was shocked how well this was hitting, especially when so much of the jokes are just like straight up stupid and like dumb humor. And they'll play it so straight, and they'll just be like the stupidest sight gag in the background for like 1 second. And it's just really, really effective. I was crying, laughing. My whole crowd was laughing. Everybody was into this thing. And you said studio comedies are dead. I definitely agree with you. And I hope that this revitalizes them, because my crowd was packed. And I hope that the good word of mouth around this thing, people go and see it, because I would love to see this thing bring back this genre, because this was so much fun. And they really also pushed the boundary, I think. Like, it was PG-13, but it was very raunchy. A lot of dirty jokes, a lot of stuff where I was like, I can't believe they said that in this movie.
I just want to say, it's not just studio comedies that are dead. Comedies theatrically, are pretty much dead. I mean, what's the last, like, just not studio comedy, like comedy in general, not counting like something like Deadpool that's also like a superhero movie?
Would Anora count?
I guess it would, but yeah. I feel like that's I don't know. I feel like that's more of a drama with just there's so much, like, the characters are comedic and stuff.
Yeah, we've seen comedy, like horror comedies come out and action comedies and stuff like that, but it's just straight comedy. I guess this is an action comedy, but not really. But this is just pure
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, and comedy gold for sure.
Comedy gold. I wish we could talk about like our favorite lines and stuff like that, but we can't really do that. I want to bring up the trailer though, because the trailer I thought was very impressive in that it shows you stuff that's larger from the beginning of the movie, and also I think it shows you like not the whole joke. It'll show you kind of like the setup of a joke, and then the actual joke will go on for like 5 minutes and escalate and escalate and escalate, and you might think you get to the scene, you're like, oh, I saw this one, I saw this one, and then you didn't,
No.
you did not see how far they were going to push the envelope and how big the joke was going to get. So I was really impressed by how much this trailer did not give away its punchlines, and it gave away some of the punchlines, but it's really just like the first scene essentially.
Yeah.
But are you talking about the teaser or the full trailer?
I don't know if I even saw the full trailer necessarily, but I may have. I think I saw it once, but I felt generally the marketing was pretty good at not revealing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, because I do think the main trailer does show some stuff, but nowhere near other things like Marvel movies.
The
like
funniest gags, of the movie are not in the trailer, and that's what the most important thing is.
Yeah, but I will say that there were some stuff in the trailer that was like some of the funniest, like the bank. That had me dying. And there's a shot of, well, yeah, I won't say, but there's a shot like something in the background that I died laughing at, but unfortunately was in the full trailer. So they do give away some stuff, but definitely not to the level of like some Marvel movies or stuff like that. But I will say there have been some clips released that flat out gave away. Like one of the funniest jokes of the movie was in a clip that was just released this week. And if that was my first time hearing that joke, I probably would have laughed even louder.
Yeah. I will say you mentioned you didn't like the first movie. I don't really have huge fond memories for it, and I'm sure Michael probably likes it the most of all three of us. But I think that what's really impressive, honestly, about this is it does have cameos and references and stuff like that to the original movie, but you absolutely can watch this and have zero knowledge of any of these previous films or the TV show, and you will be absolutely fine. It's going to be referencing like current day movie tropes and those kind of things. It's not going to be like, oh, you better know the C and D tier cast of Naked Gun 33 and a half or whatever it is. No, it's not going to really do that.
I feel like with the OJ thing that was in the teaser, I feel like stuff like that, and there's something else in the movie. It's a surprise. I feel like in ways is commenting and directly making fun of like how, oh, there's someone controversial in the movie. How are we going to do this? Are we going to still have a mention? And this movie is just flat out like, no, it's OJ. Like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Like no.
That was in the teaser, and that was so funny when
they had to put that in the teaser.
Yeah.
They had to sell people. I think that joke genuinely is what has sold this to like audiences and stuff. Like when I saw the teaser with an audience, people were dying at that line.
One thing I want to bring up in terms of the casting is I was hoping to get more of CCH Pounder, who plays like his commanding officer, and it's a very fun reference to her playing essentially the exact same character in The Shield, where she's having to like rein in this crazy police squad. And I was waiting for her to have like a true berating Liam Neeson moment. And there's a great scene with her that is very, very funny. But I was waiting for, some Shield quote dropping. I was waiting for that reference. But I was happy to see her. I would love it if they did a sequel to have even more of her in there.
Wait, a what reference?
The Shield. She played that character in The Shield.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what The Shield is.
It's an extremely popular cop TV show from the 2000s where she plays this really hard-headed captain who was trying to rein in Vic Mackey and his police crew. Speaking of sequels, I'm curious. I would love to see this movie get a sequel, and I want to hear from you guys. This was set across Hollywood and kind of had fun with the LA setting. Is there another city you would like to see Liam Neeson's character go investigate a crime in?
New York. That'd be great.
I gotta say, in terms of sequels, I think it's really interesting. This comes out a week apart from Happy Gilmore 2, which is a sequel to a beloved comedy, at least by audiences, and this is like exactly what you want to be. as a comedy sequel reboot, and then that movie is just like everything you don't like, the worst instincts like Hollywood has right now, and this movie is just literally nails everything.
Yeah, that's in terms of legacy sequels, I think is a really, really strong example of how you can do it and rein in the original crowd, but also be very, very focused on the new crowd. And yeah, I really, really love this thing. In terms of his sequel, I would love to see him go in Florida. You know, I want to see him in like the coast or something like that, Miami, investigating a mysterious serial killer in Miami or something like that. That would be really fun.
Have like a Hawaiian shirt on or stuff like that.
Well, imagine they do that and he's played by Michael C. Hall.
That would be a great connection.
And imagine Dexter Resurrection is canceled after one season and they reference that. He's
that
like,
so but the thing
he
is,
had a show, and then it had a show.
But the thing is that you guys watching this review, y'all need to go out and support comedies like this. That's the thing, is we need to get, when we have a good spoof comedy, when we have a good comedy in general, studio comedy, y'all need to go out and support it, because this is projecting to make 15 million its opening weekend, which is still decent, but it should be making more. Like, it should be making in the 20 million range, something like that, because this is probably going to be the one of, if not the best movie of August. And if this movie bombs or fails, then y'all deserve depressing movies for the rest of your life. Just saying.
And I want to bring up too, people are always saying, oh, comedy is dead, you can't make jokes about anything. People are so offended all the time. Everyone's gone woke. Everyone is so sensitive. This movie pulls no punches in terms of like pushing the envelope and offending you and making jokes that are crossing the line, but it's never mean. You know, it's never like, oh, let's just kick like a minority group right now or something like that. You know, it's never trying to be insulting, but it's also perfectly willing to make boundary pushing jokes and be political and make jokes about, like, you know, current figures like Elon Musk and kind of like Andrew Tate. I felt like there was some Andrew Tate in
For
the
a second,
villain.
I thought that was
here.
actually him.
But yeah, I really appreciated that this movie, I think, was unafraid to tackle issues and to make fun of those issues. Do you guys have any other thoughts you want to say here about Naked Gun? How about you, Ari?
No, I think that's it. It's a really great spoof comedy that works really well. Honestly, I would put it in the top 5 spoof comedies. Like, I don't know if it's on the level of Airplane, but I put it over the original Naked Gun. I haven't seen any of the scary movies. Don't really have any interest in those. I guess if you count Deadpool, I'd have to rewatch Deadpool, but it might top Deadpool. Honestly, it's just so smart and just, it's not afraid to be stupid. Like, it has great jokes that aren't necessarily completely stupid, but it goes there. It goes all the way. But without Liam Neeson, it would have failed.
Yeah, Liam Neeson is the heart and the soul of this thing, and I'm really happy to see him get so much acclaim. He's never going to get an Oscar out of this thing, but like in the just world, I think he'd be up there with the nominations, honestly. And then we do our like Mega Movie Z Awards or whatever at the end of the year. He's going to be in there in my nomination sheet. You know, screw the Oscars. They'll never go for something like this, but they should.
Even though they won't, even though they used to back in the day. I mean, Dr. Dolittle, that was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, and you can talk about the artistic of these crafty movies or whatever, but when you get to the end of the year, I feel like this is going to be the performance that everyone is talking about, or at least one of them, you know. And I don't know how you don't honor that when it comes to the awards categories. They're not going to. The Golden Globes might throw them something, but yeah, when it comes to our awards season conversations, I'm hoping we can manifest this guy somewhere.
They'll nominate Brad Pitt for F1 over him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael, have any last thoughts as we're wrapping up our Naked Gun review here?
So yeah, I absolutely loved it. The director of this movie is from one half of The Lonely Island, and he made, in my opinion, the funniest movie of the 2010s when it came out, which was Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping. And so I once I heard that, I was like, oh my God, no wonder I love this movie. This movie was just so funny. I think it is the funniest movie of the 2020s for sure. Of this decade, hands down. And as terms of spoof movies, I don't know if this beats Galaxy Quest for me, but this is still neck, like close, right behind it.
Do you think it's better than Deadpool?
It might be. There's some more like Deadpool is really funny, but there's not as many background gags.
It's kind of funny because Paul Walter Hauser's in this, and he's in Fantastic Four, which is like from the Fantastic Four was the Fox universe, and that's kind of a fun little thing.
Yeah, I think that's really fun. So, and also this is great for Paramount because Paramount needs a hit like this too. This is really awesome that they made this movie, and Liam Neeson is in a hit because Liam Neeson needed this after being in like The Commuter and all these other kind of films that he's
cinema
that he's done lately. So
when it comes to Paramount, I'm just glad that Trump didn't make him cancel it. You know, they would have cowered it like they had to.
Trump is like they're parroting Elon. Let's kill. Well, actually, Trump would like that now.
Yeah, I guess he changed his mind on that.
Yeah.
In terms of spoof movies, it's going to be hard for me to beat Wet Hot American Summer. I feel like that's just like right up my wheelhouse of stupid. But this is pretty close to being that good. And yeah, I had a great time with it. And I want to toot my own horn for having this very high in my anticipated of the year video. When we did our anticipation of 2025, this was like in my top 5 or something. I was on here saying, you guys are sleeping on Naked Gun. This is going to be a blast. And now I feel validated. So, you know, go back and watch that video if you want to see my thoughts on this thing ahead of the time. But yeah, I had a great time on this movie. I really hope there's a sequel. I really hope we see Liam Neeson have a comedy streak and a comeback. And I had a great time talking about it with you guys. So thanks for coming on, Michael and Ari. It was a blast watching Naked Gun and talking about it with you guys. We have, like I said, a lot going on the channel. We reviewed together. So if you want to check out the horror review of Together, that's up as well. We're going to be at some point doing an awards roundtable update. My dog's ready to end the video, so I think it's time to call it there. If you guys like the video, go ahead and click like. If you love us, hit subscribe. If you hate us, bye.